What's up, San Antonio? Are you needing to get your bookkeeping and your tax services done? Then head on over to JD & Associates LLC Bookkeeping and Tax Services. You can find JD & Associates LLC Bookkeeping and Tax Services on Facebook and on Instagram. So now, it's tax season, baby. So make sure that you head on over to JD & Associates LLC Bookkeeping and Tax Services. Don't head on over to La Vecina, who's only got one eye, y la pata chueca, and she can't even remember her own name. She's gonna remember your name to do your taxes. So guys, please head on over to JD & Associates LLC Bookkeeping and Tax Services. They are located at 4702 West Avenue, number 8, San Antonio, Texas, zip code 78213. You can call them up at 210-816-0357. Again, JD & Associates LLC Bookkeeping and Tax Services, an official sponsor for DeLoco Podcast.
Estás escuchando DeLoco Podcast.
Go and you don't have nothing to worry about.
Okay, cool.
You have nothing to worry about. So, but you found the place perfectly fine.
Yes.
I know there was traffic right now. Gabriel, my guy here who's doing the recording right now, he said that traffic was pretty bad.
It was very bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So by chance, right? By chance. So just so you know, we're recording already.
Okay.
See, I like to throw people off. I don't want to make it like, okay, let's get right. No, it's going to just be raw, right? Uncut. So I think what I want to ask is, I mean, how did you even find out about me? Like, how did you come across my page? Because it's right now, I think there's a lot of people that are coming across the page, right? And which is good, but I'm kind of like, you came across my page and you kind of DM me and said, hey, how can I get on the show? And I'm like, well, I don't know. How did you find out? Like, I usually like to ask and see, like, how did you find out? Did someone tell you? Did you see a reel? Did it come on your For You page or?
Okay, so it came on my For You page.
Okay.
And it was actually, I don't remember the exact person, but I just saw that, we have mutual followers and stuff. So when I clicked on it, I saw that it was a podcast actually here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, he's local.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me reach out to him.
Yeah.
Because there's some people that post podcasts and, I'm interested and I'll listen to them. There's this one podcast I love listening to. It's called Girls Gone Bible. That's my favorite podcast.
Yeah.
I listen to them all the time, but they're not located in...
Where are they located at?
I'm not too sure, but I know they're not located in Texas.
No,
but they're like a Christian-based podcast.
Oh, that's cool.
And I love listening to them. And so I'm like super interested in podcasts.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of like looking at different podcasts, and I came across yours, and I saw you're located in San Antonio.
Yeah, located here in San Antonio. Man, that's awesome. That's cool. I appreciate that. I appreciate you reaching out, and I appreciate everybody that's been tuning in and has subscribed. And now we're at 1,000 subscribers, 1,042 to be exact, on YouTube. So I appreciate you guys. So welcome back, guys. Welcome back to DeLoco Podcast. This is episode number 54. Today we have someone very special today, and you're going to get to meet her right now. You just heard her voice. And today we have the Ashley here. Ashley, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. Ashley, correct?
Yes, it's Ashley.
Ashley. So you're going to get to find out who she is today, what she's about. And then also, today, for the very first time, we're going to get into a new segment called the DeLoco Hot Seat Rapid Fire Questions. So we're going to get into that this time around. So without any further ado, it's been quite some time since I've done this, but I like to introduce the guests. I like to welcome them in. So basically, all you have to do is just sit back and hear, and that's all you got to do. So.
Escuchando DeLoco Podcast.
Perfect. So welcome again. I appreciate you for being here. Don't need to be nervous, girl. No, you don't have to be nervous. I can see it, but you gotta, let loose. Just pretend I'm that girl. You're spreading that chisme too. You know how it is. Girl, ladies that are listening, you know how that is. Le suelta la lengua. You know what I mean? The chisme goes and it happens. So I know Ashley right now just got with me, and I just asked her how she came across, the podcast. So she said she saw us on the For You page, which is awesome. It's working. The Instagram Reels are doing their job. Which is super awesome. And I appreciate you for following me as well, and being a fan of the podcast as well. So I appreciate that. So you are a trade of many things. So you are here locally here in San Antonio. You were born and raised here in San Antonio? You moved here from San Antonio from somewhere else, or?
Yes, I was born and raised here in the west side of San Antonio.
West side. So you're a West Sider.
Yes.
West Sider for life, or you've moved out of the West Side?
No, I'm still currently living in the west side of San
In the
Antonio.
west side of San Antonio. Okay,
sir.
perfect. I'm a South Sider for life, right? That's my side of town. So I know everybody likes to say, so shout out to my buddy Joe, Chocolate Academy, who's from the west side. He represents the west side with pride and with love, you know.
I love his Instagram page. I'm familiar with him.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's a very good friend of mine that we became friends. It's now been 4 or 5 years that we've been really good friends. So he's, if you want to say, he represents the west side, right, to the max. And I love that guy to death, man. And he's such a good friend. So shout out to Joe, Chocolate Academy. Shout out to you, my friend. So I think it's cool what you're doing. I saw a little bit of what you do, which today I just found out you also do photography, correct?
I'm actually currently trying to be an influencer.
Okay.
So photography and content creating and the videos just come with being an influencer.
Okay.
So I wouldn't so much say a photographer, more just I take videos and photos of places that I go. I do try to do reviews of different coffee shops, restaurants, clothing brands, makeup, different things like that. So not only do I do my business, but on the side I do content creating.
Oh, nice. Okay, and the what is your main thing? Because I know you have it on your Instagram as Ashley & Co., right? Meaning corporation or company?
Yes.
Right?
Company.
So what else do you do here? What do you have to offer for people that are listening? Because there's going to be people that are listening in and they can reach out to you if there's something that you are doing. And how long have you been doing what you're doing? Did you just start or it's been something you've been doing? And which, by the way, you don't have to say, but I don't know how old you are, but I'm just going to take a wild guess as being like 25, 26.
Yes, sir. I'm
Correct?
25 years old.
Okay, perfect. So I don't know how long you've been doing this, if this is something you just got into, or, I mean, how long have you been doing this?
So I know it sounds crazy, but I've been baking for over 12 years.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So I've been baking most of my life. My grandma is actually the one who taught me how to bake at a very young age. And the things I do have to offer are cakes, dipped strawberries. Really, I have various types of treats for my dipped, for the dipping options.
Yeah.
I do Rice Krispie treats. I do pretzels. I do a variety of things. And then I also do floral arrangements. That's actually a new thing that I added to my business this year was floral.
How hard is that? Because I know it's
definitely a learning process.
it can be pretty difficult. Because I mean, shout out to everybody that that's here in San Antonio that does or anywhere that does floral arrangements. Because it takes time to actually do some floral arrangements, to actually pick them out. Then I've seen them, like I've seen some YouTube videos and even some TikTok shorts where they cut them and they have to like make sure they're even, and then they pat dry them, and then they start. Man, it's like a whole thing that you got to do.
It's definitely a process, and it is definitely a learning experience. This was actually my first year offering it for Valentine's Day. I will be offering my services for Mother's Day as well. I am still getting familiar with all the different vendors, supplies, and just all the different things that comes with floral, but I actually enjoy it a lot. It is something new, something different.
Yeah.
And it's something fairly new compared to baking.
Yeah.
Baking is my expertise, something I've been doing for many years. And I feel like now that I've mastered that, it was time for me to expand and try something else. And just recently, I did do a wedding.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So it was so exciting for my business.
How was that though? Because I mean, I don't mean to interrupt you, but how was that? Because already dealing with weddings, that's already frustrating within itself. So I mean, how did that go? Like, you have to have it cold, right, for a certain amount of time, and then you have to take it out. You can't leave it out too long, and then no, put it back in, and then bring it out when they're coming out, or how does that work, or what?
Previously, they have hired me for multiple weddings for my cake business. So I've been familiar with weddings due to my cake business. So doing it for my floral business, it wasn't too much of a drastic difference because I was already like familiar with it. But I would say for somebody who's like never done a wedding ever, I would say it's pretty stressful. Or it would be something that's kind of like, I would just say it's something.
it's something.
It's something.
It's going to take the majority of your time, but you love doing it.
Passion and love for something that you do with something like that, because it takes so much patience. And that's
I can imagine. I mean, I know for baking and doing the floor, it's going to take some patience. And I mean, you said it well. I've said it before. If you like doing something, it's different between you like it and you loving it, because you can like it, but then there's going to get to a certain point where you're going to have you're going to hit like a plateau where you're like, maybe I should do something else. But if you love it, you're going to continue to do it. Like you're going to strive to try to do something different, try to do this, try to do that. Which, by the way, speaking of love, I love doing this. And today I'm announcing and I've already announced on Instagram, I will be making a new content creation, which will be called DeLoco Mundo. So basically what it's going to be, I can reach out to businesses, restaurants, churches, events, or whatever the case is, and I will be there interviewing people, talking with the people, whoever it is, businesses. If you want to promote your business or whatnot, you can reach out to me. So follow me on Instagram at DeLoco Mundo. So now that's going to be something new that I want to do besides just doing the podcast. So I think I can be able to put more content out there besides people just waiting for an episode for the following week or waiting for that Friday. They'll be able to get something that week or the following week. So I'm going to try to do something different in that aspect. So I'm also working with some buddies of mine. There's going to be some events that we're going to do together. So you see some collabs coming up here pretty soon on Instagram and stuff. So right now I'm trying to work out and trying to be there at Fiesta one way or another. I know it's early, right? But Fiesta's already going to be here right around the corner. So I'm trying to do that and trying to be at the Rock Fest as well, which was with Chancla Academy, who's hosting that in Poteet. So we're going to see how that goes. But yeah, I think you nailed it. Of you loving something and you having passion for it and taking the time to do it. I think that's super cool. So I know you love doing it, and you said your grandma showed you how to do the baking, correct?
Yes.
So can you say that she's the one who kind of inspired you to actually get into this game of being an entrepreneur? Because you're an entrepreneur. You're not just, your hands are not in one piece of masa. Like you're like all over the place. So can you say, is she the only one that can influence you, or have you always been like, you know, there's those influencers on YouTube, on TikTok. Back in the day, there was Vine, right? So I don't know if somebody influenced you to take those steps where you were kind of hesitant to take, because that's the way I was. I was kind of hesitant to come into the podcast game, but then I started getting influenced by different people, and I said, no, you know what? I can do it. If I can talk to people and I have that personality to talk to people and have a conversation, then I'm going to go ahead and put forward with it. So was there somebody else that maybe inspired you?
I think overall, my grandma is my inspiration. My grandma's the one who pushes me daily. And I feel like with her, I was able to learn so much with my baking, but also through the power of social media, such as, you know, YouTube, TikTok. I was able to look up various, you know, different ideas, techniques. Throughout the years, it's been a lot of trial and error with my business. And I just fell in love with being an entrepreneur because I love to have my own, you know, my own days, my own hours.
Yeah.
And also I'm young. So being an entrepreneur for me, I had the mindset since I was young, like go full force. I have nothing to lose. And I also have my family, you know, my mom, my sister, my grandpa, who back up my business 100%. So when you have such a supportive family and close friends and people who really believe in your business, it goes a long way.
Yeah, it goes a long way. So I have another question here. So I saw when I posted on Instagram, I posted that you were going to be here and whatnot. I saw, what was it, Keldon Johnson, the cake.
Yes.
So how did that happen? Like, how did that go about? Was it somebody special that wanted a Keldon Johnson cake, or was it actually for Keldon Johnson?
The cake was actually for Keldon Johnson.
Nice.
Yes, so it was very exciting to make. And actually, after I made his birthday cake, his girlfriend did reach out to me for Valentine's Day, and they did purchase again for Valentine's Day.
Oh, nice.
As well.
Nice.
So they are customers of Ashley Cole, and very kind people.
Yeah.
And it was a very good, exciting moment because my grandma, she loves the Spurs.
Oh yeah,
so
the
it was
Spurs.
it was a proud moment.
Yeah. That's super awesome. That's why when I saw the cake, I said, man, that's going to be a question I'm going to ask, because I saw the Keldon Johnson and then I saw the tag and I was like, man, did she make a cake for Keldon Johnson? I'm not too sure. That's why I wanted to ask. But
Yes.
Those that are hearing Keldon Johnson, if you don't know who Keldon Johnson is a Spurs player, San Antonio Spurs player. So which is that's huge, right? To be able to make a basketball player a cake, for them to trust you to bake them a cake. Because sometimes it can be a little chiflados, right? Who they're gonna pick, and I want this company, or I want Cheesecake Factory to make me. They'll do that. But that's cool that they picked you, and then they called you back.
Yes, I was very very fortunate that happened to me, and like I said, very humble people.
Yeah. That's cool. That's super awesome that doors are opening for you, or that door opened for you, and many doors are going to open for you. So I think that's super cool. So I know you said you want to be an entrepreneur, or that's what you're striving to be right now, in having your hands in everything. So I know what takes the majority of your time. Like, is it the baking of the cakes, the floor, or it all depends on how people DM you and go about it? Like, how does that work for you?
I would say what takes the majority of my time is cakes, because that's what I'm known for cakes. People are getting familiar with Boss Floral, which is my floral business.
Okay.
But it's still work in progress.
Yeah.
And people are still getting familiar with it. But for my cake business, it already has a name for its own. So with that being said, I am fairly booked every month.
Nice. Really?
Yes.
How many cakes are you baking in? I'm just putting out, how many cakes are you baking like in a week, or maybe in a month?
A lot.
A lot of cake.
Yes, a
Really?
lot of cakes. Rough estimate, I would say a week. I would say 8 to 10.
8 to 10 cakes
a week.
Okay, so I mean,
It's a lot.
what? How big is this oven that you're putting the cakes in, or are you like, take it out and put that, and then put the other one in, take it out, put it in, or
For the weekends, it's fairly busy. So I would say like I would have about maybe 4 to 5 cakes on a Thursday, Friday, and then on a Saturday I'll have about 5 cakes.
Oh wow!
So it's divided up. It's not all together at once. So with that, it's like I have it split on different days. So I already know, like, if I have a cake for Thursday, I'll get the products, make the cakes for Thursday, and then make the cakes for Friday. So with my oven, it just, everything one is working out because I do it one by one.
Oh, you do one by one?
Yes. I won't put like all like 8 cakes at one time.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Because they're not all for the same day.
Oh, okay. So you're making them
like throughout the week.
Throughout the week.
Because, some people will ask for on a Monday, a Tuesday. And before, I used to only get cakes orders on the weekends. Now, people order cakes even on a Tuesday, Monday, just whenever they need the cake and the occasion. So that's why I'm very blessed that I've been getting so many orders.
Yeah.
Especially, I think, because of the holidays.
Yeah.
That's what made it more like so many events. People are asking for cakes on Monday, Tuesday, but I think it's because there were so many Christmas parties.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on.
Valentine's Day, there were so many Galentines.
Well, here's the thing. I know we were supposed to do this episode a while back, but then you told me, like, there's no way this is going to happen because I'm like, I have so many things I got to do. I got to take care of. Maybe let's do it afterwards or let's set up the episode after. So how busy were you on Valentine's? I can only imagine.
Valentine's Day was so hectic.
And just not, was it just cakes or también it was the floral too at the same time?
I did so many flower bouquets.
Oh, dude.
But it was so worth it because once I gave everybody their flower bouquets, their cakes and stuff, the excitement in their face and the photos I received from my clients, it was really rewarding. Oh
my God. I don't, so let me ask you this. So I know you're doing it on your own, or do you call like, the homegirls like, hey, girl, can you come help me do this real quick and I'll get you some Whataburger or how does this work?
So I do everything on my own. And the reason why I do everything on my own is because I have a specific technique on how I do everything. And I don't trust anybody else.
Oh, man.
So that makes things a little difficult. It's like, whenever you have a mom who's like, oh, you don't even cook or clean, but they only want to do it themselves.
Yeah, they only want to do it themselves. So you wouldn't, I'm only asking, you wouldn't want to train like somebody, like maybe you have someone that you can train to the T, like to the max, and then they can train like other people.
I'm actually offering training classes.
Oh, nice.
So I do have that information on my Instagram account. So for the training classes, I am going to be offering to show how to dip treats and also for my cakes as well. And if I did find that person, then I would allow them. You would
allow them to help you out. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like I really do get it. Like if you have your certain ways of doing things and you want to do it like this, and you have your certain. I mean, I know exactly what you mean. Like you have a process and how you do it. Yes. And it's been working, and you don't want that process to get I feel like when people
book, they want to book with me specifically, so that's why I just put my all effort and do it completed myself. So,
So there's no trial and errors. There's nothing like, well, Ashley, you know that cake that what's her name ordered? Yeah, well, se quemó. You know, you're like, oh man, how did the cake burn? Like, well, I know you said 800, but I put it at 810. You know what I mean? I put it for more than 10 minutes. So does that work or no? It needs to be exact. I totally get it. Like I do get it. It's hard because I know you want to expand. I mean, eventually, right? I mean, I don't know. I know eventually you would maybe want to expand to where it's a more than just like this small business. It's huge where you're having employees and they're asking you like, hey boss, do we do this? Or where do we take this? You're going to take it here. This is where it goes. This is who it's going to go to. And you have like so many orders going through to where you don't have to worry about delivering. Like you just send them out and they'll go deliver it for you. So I'm pretty sure that's the goal.
Yes.
To
right
do
now,
that.
I currently do have some things in the works. I do want to expand my business this year. So I do have big things coming this year. I have a few things lined up. It's just, again, everything takes time. I don't like to rush anything.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm working on right now. A few different things for my business for this year. So I'm excited.
That's good. That's super good. And I mean, for a young lady at your age to have that kind of mindset, there's a lot of people that are your age that are just like, you know, I mean, I get whatever comes my way, like whatever. I mean, I'll go work here, do that. But being an entrepreneur is hard. It's not easy. Like, I mean, I always tell people like I have a full-time job, but I'm hoping that one day this will be my full-time job to where I can be able to do podcasts and do sessions with people every day on a daily basis to where people can tune in. So that's the end goal, right? But you got to start somewhere. That's the thing. Like you got to start somewhere. And you said you started baking 12 years ago, and then slowly but surely you started working, and then now you expanded. Now you're in the floral, and now you're showing people that you have entrepreneurship. You just want to put it out there, and I don't know what plans you have, right? Or you have like collabs that you're gonna do, or is it like different? Or I don't know if you can say or not. That's why I'm just asking. Like,
I have a few different things in the works. One thing about me, I don't like to speak on it till it's done.
Set in stone.
Yeah, because I don't like any outside energy.
Yeah, I get that. You got them haters drinking that haterade. I get it.
Exactly.
I do get it. Yeah, I mean, believe me, I get it. Like I'm the same way. Like I don't want to say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have this person on, and then it doesn't fulfill. Like right. I want to when that person's here, then you hear me. Yeah, they were here. Like that's my thing. Like yeah, they were here. Like
when something happens and it's posted on my Instagram, then that's when everybody will know, like my plans or something that's happened to me, especially like if I do any celebrity cakes or different things. I don't say it, announce it until I post it.
Just post it.
Yes.
Which is very smart on your end because anything can happen between the order and you baking, and they're like, nah, forget it. Like we give you a deposit, but forget it. We're not going to need it after all. Has that happened before? Like where somebody deposits and they're like, nah, never mind. Like we'll give you the deposit, but that's it.
I feel like in the beginning of my career, before I wouldn't even take deposits.
Really?
Yes. So when I first started, I was really young. When I actually started taking my business serious, I was only 18 years old. And at 18 years old, trying to be a business owner is very hard, especially when it's like your first time trying to run a business with no kind of like knowledge or anyone kind of guiding you.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a website at the time. I would just write down my orders manually. And then also, I would just like receive DMs and just take messages through DM. Now I take orders only through my website, and I require a deposit.
Oh, perfect. So that's a smart thing to do.
Things have grown, and things are a lot different with my business now.
It's like I said, you learn from your mistakes, right?
Yes.
You're gonna learn from them, and you'll see what's gonna work for you, what's not gonna work for you, what content to put out there, and what people like, and then maybe that didn't work. Maybe I'll do this and start posting that. So. Because I saw your page. It has like all the floral stuff. It has all the cake stuff on there, which is super cool to see that. Excuse me. So I think what you're doing is super cool for you to take those steps and have that entrepreneurship, have that kind of a mindset to where, you know, you're working hard towards the goal that's at hand, right? And there's a lot of people who they work towards it and then they get to that point to where it happens to where you're just stagnant. And then you're like, man, maybe no, mejor no, maybe it's not going to work, but you've been working at it. Now you're going to have some big stuff coming up for this year, which is awesome. And congratulations on that, by the way. So,
thank you so much.
You know, best for your endeavors and what you do in your career. So right now we're actually going to go on a quick commercial break. And then right after, we'll come right back. So, guys, you're going to want to tune in right after the second half. We're going to actually do, for the very first time, the DeLoco Hot Seat rapid questions. So, don't get scared. It's nothing about you. I didn't call the FBI and like, hey, can you tell me some details? Give me some cheese, man. No, nothing like that. So, guys, we'll be right back after the short commercial break with Miss Ashley. We'll see you right after the short commercial break.
In the month of March, during each new episode of the DeLoco podcast during the commercial break, 4F Lifestyle is going to be discussing women's history. Alongside that, with Easter falling in March as well, we will be discussing the final week of the most important person who ever lived, Jesus Christ, the final days of Jesus. We're going to be discussing Holy Week and leading up to Easter. So remember, tune into each new episode of the DeLoco podcast during the commercial break. And remember, Dios Te Ama. God loves you.
You know, who was the 23rd president of the United States? I'm gonna tell you, I don't know. don't worry. I'm not gonna. There are not gonna be any questions like that. Don't worry. But yeah, I started in 2021, and I started following a podcast, and only because my brother had told me about him, and they're super good. They're getting huge right now, which is they're La Platica. They're from the LA, and I was following them for a while. And they started off in his like back studio storage room, and then they moved into a nicer living room, and then now they rented out a space. They did it there. Now they have like this huge studio right now that they were able to purchase. So
Oh wow.
I got into it at that time, so I started doing it. I went to a store, purchased a microphone, purchased a laptop, and I just started recording. Before, it was just me, like talking about TikTok, talking about news that you would hear, like talking about like crazy stories that you would hear about. That's what I was doing at first. It wasn't until when I started changing, when I had my buddy come on, Miguel, when people started to see like I have that connection with people just to talk and be funny, and then I kind of switched it. Like instead of me doing TikTok reviews and YouTube reviews and all, it was just, this is what a podcast should be. It's just two people talking, having a conversation, getting to find out about the person that I have on, and then just having fun and just talking. The podcast is raw, right? Which is awesome, which I understand. You're young ladies, you're like, can you take the stutters out? Like, just take them out. Like, I get it. But people enjoy those things because it's a raw moment. Like, it happened at that time, so people get to watch it and hear it, and they're like, oh, it happened at that time. It's not like, oh, they edited that out. No, we didn't hear that. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But yeah, so we're going to get into the DeLoco Hot Seat rapid fire questions. So let me get to the questions real quick. Do not fear again. I'm not going to ask you when was the First Amendment. Don't worry about that. So we're going to get into the DeLoco Hot Seat rapid fire questions. All right, so question number one, and this goes for everybody that is listening in and watching today. So, if your man chooses his PlayStation 5 over taking you out, is that a red flag? Yes or no?
Major red flag.
Major red flag. He's going to choose that PlayStation 5 over taking you out.
Over me?
What exactly? So what would you do, or what would you say in that situation? What would you tell him? If it, like, you're already getting dressed up and you're like, we're going to go out, and he's like, well, I'm about to get on the game with the guys. You think we can just stay in tonight, or
Unplug it.
yeah, unplug it. So guys, don't.
And I didn't say break it.
Yeah,
girls.
don't
Girls,
break
I didn't
it.
say break it. I said unplug it.
Unplug it. Don't break
Yes,
it. Don't.
For all
don't.
the toxicas.
Yeah, all the toxicas, man.
No.
Don't break it. Just unplug
unplug
it.
it, that's it.
And then go eat. Then go eat. Okay, so that's a red flag. Okay, perfect. All right, so this one here, pretty simple. It's a true or false. Tacos de asada are better than any of your other tacos. True or false?
True.
True. So are you a big mini taco fan, or are you
I
like
am.
really?
Yes.
Really?
But I'm kind of undecisive because I'm thinking, I don't know, birria or asada.
Mm.
I'm kind of
That's a pretty hard
undecisive.
choice to
It
make.
is. So I'm going to go with true.
With true, right?
Yes.
So let me ask you this. Are you a breakfast taco person, or are you
I am.
really? What's your
Yes.
go-to breakfast tacos?
Bean and cheese.
Bean and cheese.
Yes.
Bean and cheese.
Basic.
That's a basic, but it's a classic. And then some people, they want to throw a little pizzazz on there. They let me have some bacon in there. There you go. So you know about it. You know. Okay, perfect. All right, next question is, if she texts or calls more than 2 times knowing where you're at, is she a tóxica? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so again, if she calls more than twice and she already knows where you're going. So let's say the guys are going to go out with, they're going to go.
The real answer is, why is he not answering?
Well, there you go. See, that's why I'm asking you. You're a lady, so that's why I'm asking. So guys, why are you not answering? Right? Why not? But then ladies also, if you already know, don't be a tóxica. Don't be a tóxica, okay? Just call once, text him. I mean, don't blow up his phone with like 36 calls, right? And like 56 messages. I mean, you know where he's at. I get you want to check in and be like, hey, how's it going? What's going on? Whatever. That's a different story. But if you're calling like, where are you? I told you like 5 days ago, like every day, like where I'm going to go today. Like I'm going to go play ball with the guys. Are you sure? Yes, I told you like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I said, we're going to go Thursday. Today's Thursday. We're going to go play ball. I mean, what else do you want? All right. So yes. So you are a tóxica. Okay, perfect. So next, would you rather your boo wear the best cologne or perfume or have bad breath? What would you rather have them wear the best cologne or for them to have bad breath?
For them to wear the best cologne.
Best cologne. So here's the thing, fellas. I mean, you're going to want to wash your mouth a little bit. You know what I mean? You don't want to be walking around with bad breath, right? So, but also too, you want to smell good, right? Smelling good is key, right? So with my wife, I always like to wear cologne every day. Like I wear cologne all the time. So guys that are out there, if you guys are dating or you're in process of dating or whatever the case is, wear some cologne. It's going to make a difference. Like, if you're going to go out and you want to approach a young lady or whatever, and you want to approach her, if you have like the right cologne and it smells good, it'll help you. I mean, am I correct or no?
No, you're 100% right.
All right. So guys, please guys.
Green flag.
Yeah, that's a green flag. Okay. Green flag. Wear cologne. Y lava la boquita, okay? Wash the mouth, okay? Make sure you wash it, okay? Rinse it, floss it, todo, okay? Make sure we do it. All right, there's this other one here. We got agua de sandía or a Mexican Coke on a hot San Antonio day.
A Mexican Coke.
Mexican Coke for sure. That's like the go-to here. I mean, that's the go-to here in San Antonio.
Mom, she actually sent me a meme earlier that said there's 3 different types of Cokes. There's the canned Coke, the McDonald's Coke, and the bottled Coke. And they're all 3 different Cokes.
Yeah, they are. But what's crazy to me is that you said McDonald's. McDonald's Coke, for some reason,
spicy.
It is like, yeah, it's spicy. Yeah, like I don't know why, but their Coke is like it's got a lot of gas, right? Tiene mucho gas. It tastes super strong. You go to anywhere else, it's like, dude, it tastes flat. What's going on here? I don't get it. Even the
Sprite.
The Sprite, too, it hits like really good at McDonald's. So I don't know what McDonald's is doing, if they're changing it on a daily or if they got like a process of, hey, we need to change them out. We need to change them out every 3 days, 2 days. But every time I've gone, like it never fails where I'm drinking it and I'm like, nah, it's a little flat today. No, every time you're drinking it, you're like, God, it's like super strong. So, okay, so you're going to choose a Mexican Coke on a hot summer day. Okay, perfect. Not a problem. All right, so here we go back into tóxica kind of realm here, right? Okay, so if she's got a tracker, Bluetooth connection, and a Google Map coordination, but says that she just wants to make sure you're going to be safe where you go, is that true or false?
Wow, that's a lot.
Huh?
That's a lot.
I mean, some women do a little bit too much. You know what I mean? So that's why
I think one is sufficient enough. One, you'll know you're safe with just sharing location.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think you need air tags.
She's got that tracker. She's got that Bluetooth connection. She's got the Google Map coordination.
No,
but she just wants to make sure you got there safe.
He's okay.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's fine.
He's fine. But true or false, is that true that she just wants to make sure he's okay? Or is that, that's a little bit on the All right, let's take it easy, lady. You're being a little toxic, a little bit
That's false.
drama king, right? It's false, right? There's no way you're
She's
gonna.
wanting to pull up with her homegirl.
That's what it is. That's what it is. That's
She's
what
just
she
waiting
wants
for
to
the
do.
moment to call her friends.
Exactly. I knew it. This is another TLC MTV episode, whatnot. This is Jersey Shore written all over it. Okay, this is what it is. All right. So the biggest one. This is the last question, but it's a big one here in San Antonio.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to be careful because the people that are gonna watch, listen, they're gonna be like, you know what, Ashley, I was gonna order a cake, but you said the wrong answer. You know what I mean? So the biggest question here: what are you choosing, Whataburger or In-N-Out?
Whataburger.
Whataburger all day,
Right away.
right away, right? Look, I get the whole LA thing that bringing In-N-Out over here, right? And now you have Texans that are like, ooh, In-N-Out, ooh, I love it, it's better. But Whataburger is a Texas staple here, like in Texas and all of Texas. Now they're like already in Connecticut. They're already all over the place now. But these burgers are huge compared to those little In-N-Out burgers that you can get at, I don't know how do you say it, Monster or whatever it is. You get two of them or whatever the case is. But Whataburger all day long. That's what I'm choosing. Whataburger is my my go-to.
Whataburger is for the late nights, early mornings. Whataburger is for all the time.
Right? It's good. So
And In-N-Out is just for sometimes.
sometimes, I mean, but the thing, here's the truth. I've only been in In-N-Out once since
too.
they've been here. Only once. Like it's not for me to be
It's
like,
like one of those things you just have to try to get.
yeah,
out of
you
your
have to
system.
try because all the hype. I mean, when they first brought the first one that they built was off of 151, and that one, the wait time at the very beginning when they opened, the wait time was an hour and a half.
Crazy.
An hour and a half to get a burger,
I remember that.
which was ridiculous. You can see all the line going all the way through Culebra Road, just going, wrapping all the way around for people just to try this new burger joint. Which, yeah, it was a crazy time. Now it's like already, it's already normalized or whatnot. But for me, I'm going to choose Whataburger. There's another spot that's here in San Antonio called Burger Boy, which is huge.
I love.
Burger Boy's been around for so many years here in San Antonio.
So me, I'm actually a lot of people don't know this about me, but I love to eat burgers.
So that's like your number one.
That's my go-to.
That's your go-to. And that's funny that you say that because a lot of girls like to, let me just have chicken nuggets or let me have like
No.
something basic. Let me have this or that. So you're a burger lady. Like that's what you like.
Yes.
Burgers.
Yes.
So anytime you go out to eat, you're going to eat a burger. Or do you like to change it up a little bit?
I do variety.
Variety. No, that's not bad. But it's good to know that you like burgers, right? Because there's some girls that are like, nah, I don't want to do that. You know, it's not for me. Or okay, you know, whatever. You know, whatever the case is. So this, I appreciate you answering. I know you were sweating a little bit. Like, what's the hot seat? Like, what are you gonna ask me? Like, no worries. We're not gonna ask nothing about Christopher Columbus, nothing like that. These are super simple questions. But thank you for participating. This is the very first time that I'm doing this DeLoco Hot Seat Rapid Fire. So this will be a new segment that I'm going to be implementing for all my guests. So you're not going to be the only one, but you.
I like this new idea.
Yeah. So now you had the privilege of being the very first guest of going through these questions, which is good. So
Do you have a little like yay button?
yeah. So I have a better than a yay button. I have my,
Love it.
my DJ horn, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I appreciate you and your honesty and answering those questions to the best of your abilities. So, I know right now we're talking about all these questions and whatnot, and we talked about you being an entrepreneur and whatnot. Now, everybody has an idea where they went or where they're going or where they want to go. But what is there and was there something else that you wanted to do besides this that you said, if this doesn't work out, hey, man, maybe I'm going to do that. Like, if this doesn't work out, like, did you have like a plan B of what you wanted to do if this didn't work, which of course it's working, but did you have another plan?
For me, there's no other option. There's no other option because when it's something that I put my heart to and it's something that I know for sure I want, I'm not going to settle for no. For it to not work out.
For it not to work out.
No.
Okay. So this has been like,
This is a lifelong dream that I've had since I was a little girl, and this is not something that I would ever give up on.
yeah.
And I've already made a name for myself, and I just feel like I'm going to continue to grow the name
Yeah.
and grow my following And I just feel like I'm so excited for this year because I have so many new things. I'm getting so many new followers, and it's only going to be up from here.
Yeah, which is awesome that your mindset is that way, that you're just thinking like, nah, I'm not going to look back. I did what I did. This is what I wanted to do, so I'm going to just keep pushing until I get to where I need to get, which is good. I mean, there's not a lot of people who think that way. There's not a lot of people who think that way. They get there and then they just like, is there anything else? And then that's
There's
it.
a lot of people who either give up, settle, or they just have option A, B, C because they don't believe in themselves.
Yeah, they don't believe in themselves, which is, I mean, you're not wrong, right? You're not wrong. I mean, there's a lot of people who have a lot of potential. That's the key word. They have a lot of potential, and they yet to see it in themselves, right? Which is, I mean, it's unfortunate, right? Because there's a lot of people here in San Antonio that, man, they do some good stuff, and they can be bigger than where they're at right now. But it's like, I mean, I get it. They just want to be local. They don't want to be global. They just want to, you know, stick to their guns and do what they know best, right? It's like you said right now. You have a certain formula, a certain routine that you do with making your cakes, making your flowers, and you don't want that to get ruined right now until you find that person that'll actually listen and understand and comprehend, like, hey, look, these are the steps that you take. If you can follow these steps, then yeah, you can start helping me do this. And then you bring somebody else in, and then you'll train them, and so on and so forth. Like, it's just a domino effect, right? That'll happen. So, which is super cool that you're going to be able to do. But you being here from San Antonio and whatnot, I know Fiesta's going to come up here. Like I just mentioned, it's going to come up the next couple of, 2 months. Yeah, like super fast. It's ridiculous. I just feel like we just celebrated New Year's. We're already going to be in March, which is ridiculous to me. Do you have any plans to be at Fiesta or do anything for Fiesta?
Yes. So I actually do have a lot of things for Fiesta. I will be promoting on my Instagram, and I also have a lot of things for Easter because they're on the same time.
Yeah.
I'm going to be having like a little menu for customers to pick up for my Easter, and also for Fiesta. I do have a lot of different options.
A lot of different options. Okay, well, that's good. I mean, do you have plans to actually go to Fiesta this year or no?
Oh, yes. I love Fiesta.
Really? Do you go to the day parade or do you go to the night parade?
Honestly, it just depends. Every year I do go to the parade, but there's times I go during the day. There's times I go at night, but during the day it is very hot.
Yeah, during the day it is pretty hot. I go during the day, so I like to go during the day. But where we like to sit is what is it? That old school Walgreens that's right there. I forget what that cross street is at.
Okay.
But the sun doesn't hit
directly,
so it hits the building. So there's like all this shade that's right there. So we like to sit there almost every year. So one thing
for Fiesta that I always bring back and I kind of want to emphasize on is, so Ashton Co., it's sweet and sour treats. And I feel like a lot of times people just see my sweet treats and they see my cakes and stuff. But for Fiesta, I always bring the chamoy treats, the chamoy apples, the chamoy gummy bears, all the...
Oh, wow.
I'll have all the Mexican candies.
Oh, that's cool. See, I didn't know that you did that as well, which is good to know. So those that are listening, if come Fiesta or whatever it is, and you want those, you know, chamoy treats and whatnot, you know, then you can reach out to Miss Ashley here. That's cool. So how does that go? Do you put aside your cakes for some time, or you're having both combined?
I have both. I'll still be offering my cake services, but I do emphasize a lot on my chamoy treats throughout the month. And I'll do flash sales. I'll do like bulk if somebody wants to buy party trays, you know, like chamoy candies and stuff. I'll also do the trays, and it's a big seller for me, the chamoy treats.
The chamoy treats.
I feel like since I have it not so often, when I do have it, it sells out fairly quickly.
Okay, that's cool. So I did notice on your Instagram page, you do have a scripture on there.
Yes.
So can you tell me a little bit more about that scripture and what that means to you?
Yes. So for the scripture, for me, it means to help others and to feed others. And I'm very religious. I go to church every Sunday with my family, and I like to have my business based around my faith because I feel like that's really what keeps me going throughout the hard times. People don't talk about the downside of being an entrepreneur. Yeah. The stress, the money that gets put into it. There's a lot of different things, and I just feel like being faithful will lead you to a good outcome of not only your business, but you as a person.
Yeah.
Because you are your business. So you have to be not only mentally prepared, you have to be physically. And it's just a lot of things that go into being an entrepreneur. And I feel like my faith is what keeps me going with my business.
Yeah. What church do you go to, if you don't mind me asking?
I go to CBC.
So you go to CBC?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. I have a couple of buddies who go to CBC as well.
Yes.
I go to, if you don't know, I go to Westover Hills Church. I go to Westover Hills. I've been there for
I'm familiar with that church.
Really?
I used to actually attend Westover Hills.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. So I've been there. We're going on 8 years now. So I'm actually one of the drummers there at the church.
Oh, okay, awesome.
So I've grown up in the faith all my life. Like I've never had a time to where like, nah, I've always been in the faith. And I like that you said that you like to incorporate faith into your business, right? And that's what I like to do here. Is I like to show the world and the San Antonio that you believing in God and having faith, you can still have fun in a different way, in a different matter. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having faith and putting your faith out there and being embarrassed about it or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with that. Unfortunately, today, the world, the way the world is, there's a lot of stuff that gets pushed and shoved down your throat that, that maybe you don't want, but they're going to do it. And if that's going to happen, okay, well, then I'm going to represent Christ to the max and not be ashamed of it. And you shouldn't have a problem with it, if you get what I'm saying. So
yes. Once I started attending CBC, Pastor Ed, he's an amazing pastor. Yeah. I just fell in love with CBC and I just started becoming a regular. Now I attend regularly there and I love it.
That's awesome. That's good to know that you're attending church and doing that and having faith built into your business, which I think is key, right? And I've said it before many of times, right? And I don't get tired of it. Maybe listeners get tired of, we've already heard this over and over again. But, my Bible verse is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I think that's a good verse for me to take on, to do this and do my personal life as well, but also for others to reflect on that actual scripture. Because sometimes we can forget that we can be at our weakest point, our lowest point, and God is our strength. He's the one who can help us and lift us up during hard times and good times.
I know one of the things you were talking about earlier was failure. If I had a second option.
Yeah.
So one of the Bible verses that I go by is God is within her and she will not fail. So that's what I keep. Anytime I have failure, kind of that even crosses my mind, I just remember that Bible verse and I just keep going.
You just keep going. That's awesome that you do that and you implement that and you're kind of taking that route of where you're trusting God, right? Because I've always said it before. There's a difference between acknowledging and knowing who God is and actually trusting him. You can acknowledge and know that there's a God, but the minute that you actually trust him, that's a different story. Now you're actually trusting him, you're praying, and you're actually taking the time to trust in him and not just be like, yeah, I know there's a God. I know he can do it. He knows that he knows that you know that about him. He just wants you to take that step, accept him fully in your heart, right? Because I tell people all the time, try God, put him first. You'll see it's not easy because it's not easy, right? Walking in Christian faith and whatnot, being a faith believer and Christ follower, it's not easy. It doesn't get any easier.
There's a lot of temptation.
There is a lot of temptation. There's a lot of ups and downs, right? Life is a roller coaster. Yes. But with God, he's going to help you get through that roller coaster. And that's what I try to get across. And that's what God wants us to know is that, yeah, it's still going to be hard. But with me, if you trust me, I'll get you through your situations and your circumstances. You don't have to go through it alone, which is what I try to implement in my podcast like almost all the time. And that's something that, God placed in my heart, which was a year and a half ago when I took a break. Came back in 3 months and God was like, I need you to say how much I love them. Just tell them and remind them that I love them. So my phrase is God loves you, Dios Te Ama. Simple phrase, English and Spanish. But it's just a small little seed planted into somebody's heart to where they can be going through something and they hear me say that. And it's a reminder to them like, hey, you know what, I'm going through something, but God still loves me, even though I've been astray or even though I've been doing this or that. And now I'm going to trust in him. There's like a process in that in which I'm like, mis aplausos, right? Good for you that you're actually putting your faith forward and trusting in God that he's going to help you in this entrepreneurship that you're taking. And now he's, like I said, you trust God and he'll open doors. God opened this door for me to be here in the studio. And if some people are like, yeah, you got sponsorships, yes, but because of God, I have sponsorships. Because of God, I have this studio. Because of God, I have listeners, I have followers that are tuning in and like what I'm doing, right? I'm a funny guy, right? I can be funny, but there's a time for funny and there's a time to embrace and listen and what I have to say. And it's just talk about God and just trust him. And that's it. So again, mis aplausos to you and honoring God and doing that. So that Bible verse you have on there is a very good one. And when I saw it, I said, oh man, she's got a Bible verse on there, which again, it's in the book of Peter, correct?
Yes.
Right. So, but that's super awesome in what you're doing. All I can do is just wish you the very best in everything that you do in the future and what you got for 2024, right? And then what you got for 2025. It's crazy to say we're in about 3 months, we'll be halfway through 2024, which is ridiculous that we'll be halfway through the year.
Time is just flying by.
Yeah, time is flying by, which is ridiculous. But Ashley, I appreciate the time that you took to come out here. I appreciate you reaching out, and I appreciate you following me. And I thank you so very much for the kind words that you mentioned to me about everything that I'm doing. I appreciate that. And again, guys, this is just a friendly reminder: is that to trust in God, follow Him, place Him first in your life, and you will see that it's not going to get easier, but He can help you get through your circumstances. He can help you get through it. Always He can help you get through it. But guys, this is just a friendly reminder. This has been episode number 54. Guys, we're slowly but surely approaching episode 60, which we're going to get there very soon. So I appreciate you guys. And guys, please follow me at DeLoco Mundo again on Instagram. And Ashley, you want to put your plug in real quick so people can follow you as well?
Yes, it's ashleyandcole._. So follow me on Instagram. And thank you so much for having me.
Of course. I appreciate you for being here. Remember, guys, God loves you. Dios te ama. God loves you, my friend. Dios te ama. And we will see you on the very next episode.
Estás escuchando DeLoco Podcast.
Local podcast.